Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. A state plan could lead to the reopening of the old Spanish Valley Airport, and airport board members don't like the idea. And the BLM tells campers along Slick Rock where to go. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank, and I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
Best Value Foods, stress-free shopping where the service is unbelievable.
Been working hard all week? Looking forward to the weekend? Then treat yourself to a relaxing moment and a gourmet breakfast at the Rio restaurant. The Rio has excellent service and a delicious breakfast entrees every Saturday and Sunday, especially for you. Breakfast menu items will tantalize your taste buds. Eggs Florentine, huevos rancheros, or a chili verde omelet. The Rio restaurant, a great weekend breakfast place with fine southwestern cuisine anytime.
Spanish Valley Nursery is still the place where your planting and landscaping needs can be met with the finest quality plants in the region. In our greenhouses, we have a large selection of vegetables, herbs, and bedding plants in full bloom, along with beautiful patio pots and hanging baskets. To complete a yard or enhance a new one, we have a large selection of rose bushes, daylilies, cannas, ground cover, small and large evergreens, and fruit and shade trees in sizes to meet your individual needs. Visit Spanish Valley Nursery today, where everything is always first quality.
Hurry down to Family Drug for fast, friendly service. Professional pharmacist Michael Gorman is better serving your family's health needs with computerized key patient profiles. Your patient profile is reviewed for possible allergic reaction or drug interaction problems each time you fill a prescription at Family Drug. Senior citizen discounts are available on prescription drug purchases, and insurance cards are always welcome. Family Drug, where courtesy is contagious.
Is the old airport in Spanish Valley going to reopen? Maybe, says the chief landowner of the state of Utah. But there are some in town who aren't thrilled with the idea. The airport lies at the very bottom of Grand County, with much of the actual runways in San Juan County. The airport was closed during the 1960s, and a new one was built to accommodate larger planes. Now the state is looking at opening it up, at least for a time, to commercial aviation activity, according to realty specialist Jan Parmenter.
We are currently examining the possibility of using it as an airstrip, not only on a short-term basis, but a long-term basis. To facilitate that end, we are pursuing temporary permits. People have come in and applied for permits, and so we're examining the use of the airstrip to see if it is a viable, feasible benefit for the state.
How many companies are now permitted to land there?
Currently, no companies have actually received an actual permit. There has been one company that has been approved, and we're waiting on the permit. There have been 3 actual commercial enterprises that have applied for permits, and we assume that we may get more.
The state is preparing a general management plan for about 10,000 acres of land in Spanish Valley area, and the permits now being considered would only be valid until that plan is completed.
The actual permits that we issue out there will be less than a year, or we're in the process of completing a general management plan for Spanish Valley, and if that plan is completed before the year expires, then that's when the permits will expire.
State Lands manages their acreage to generate revenue for the school trust fund, and Parmenter said that goal takes precedence over other concerns.
We're here to provide economic benefit to the school institutions here in Utah. And if you go back and review our mandate, it is very specific in reference to that regard. We do have consideration towards different uses on the lands. We are cognizant of multiple use, sustained yield principles, but the ultimate goal is to provide revenue for the school institutions.
But land is getting scarce and precious in the Moab area. Some people in town say the state could generate far more money by turning the airport into home or even agricultural sites. Parmenter said that will be considered in the management plan.
Absolutely. We want to put the highest and best use that we can out there. And if it means agricultural land or developable land, then that's what we'll pursue.
Have you been getting any pressure from local politicians here in Greene County around this?
We've had some interest that as to the use of the airstrip from different individuals.
One person who has major concerns is Bob Greenberg, the chairman of the county's airport board. Greenberg's group oversees Canyonlands Airport, about 18 miles north of town. He told Channel 6 that the air traffic at the Spanish Valley Airport could have a negative effect on the county as a whole.
And the counties and the feds and the state are in the process of making a substantial investment in bringing Canyonlands Field up to snuff as a good, safe, efficient, small commercial airport, which is the use it really has now. The FAA, who are the big bankrollers of this process, allocate funds based on the number of what they call emplanements at an airport. And that's simply the number of people getting on and off airplanes at an airport. So the county, and we all as taxpayers and residents, have an interest in having people who get on and off airplanes do it at the airport, because then it counts toward getting federal funding to improve that facility.
And Greenberg also said that flying in and out of Spanish Valley will not only be disruptive to people living near it, it could also be dangerous.
The cliffs are major obstacles, rather unfriendly ones to airplanes, and particularly wind turbulence was a problem as well. And so Frontier essentially said to the community, if you want continued airline service, you've got to move the airport. And at that time, we studied, I shouldn't say we, the airport board of that day studied the different options, and the current location was the one that was found to be the best one. It's a real safe spot out there.
The airport board is asking the county council to take some action and take it soon.
We passed a resolution that will encourage the county council to zone out aircraft activity except at the airport or for emergency medevac or life flight kinds of issues.
And State Lands adds that it wants to hear what local residents think about the question during their upcoming public meeting on the management plan. The BLM cracks down on camping along Sand Flats Road, and young matriculants are honored at Red Rock. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
Hello, my name is Lynn Dish, director at Dish Funeral Home. Talking about death is often difficult. A death in the family may create problems for survivors which can sometimes be alleviated by discussion and pre-planning. We offer pre-planning counseling at no charge. Please contact me at my office for more information or to arrange for pre-planning consultation.
John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you.
Ray Tibbetts, Canyon Country Realty, one of the good guys.
The Bureau of Land Management hopes to keep ahead of the crowds this holiday weekend. Here's Ken Davey with a report.
When the Easter weekend crowds came to Moab, the BLM just wasn't ready. Thousands of people swamped the Slick Rock area, camping on virtually every available spot, designated campsite or not. This weekend, the crowds aren't expected to be as large, but if they are, the agency says it wants to be ready. They've established a checkpoint where day users of the area and campers will stop and be given information on where to go and what to do. According to BLM Area Director Brad Palmer, the aim is to provide information.
We're trying to better educate people. You know, we're going to have a lot of people up here this weekend, and we had some problems Easter weekend. We want to make sure those don't happen again. We want to provide a quality experience for people coming up here, and in order to do that, we need to educate them on where the appropriate campsites are at, what proper etiquette is, and just to make sure that they have a good time, and also to try to keep control of some of the numbers of people up here so that we don't destroy the natural resources.
And if there isn't room to camp anymore, the campus will just have to move on.
We have a limited number of campsites, designated campsites, and when those areas are full, we will put up a sign indicating that the campsites are all full, and we'll direct people to the commercial campgrounds or other places on BLM land that they might want to consider for camping.
It's a change for the BLM, a change brought about by necessity. Agency officials worry that the crowds are just getting too large for the natural environment to handle.
You know, right now we're trying to focus on some of the major holiday weekends. Because that seems to be when the impact is the greatest. But potentially we may be looking at visitor contact stations like this throughout the Moab area to try to get more information out to our visitors and to direct them and help them in any way that we can. I've been quoted before as saying that people can love it to death. Well, they really can. And the resources are finite. The desert is a fragile environment. And you really have to try to educate people on what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. And sometimes just the sheer numbers of people is inappropriate.
Right now, BLM staff at the checkpoint are giving out information, but more and more it looks like they'll be taking money, at least at the Slick Rock Bike Trail.
I think potentially long-term you're going to see a fee charged in this area. You know, our costs continue to go up in terms of providing trash receptacles, the dumpsters. We're trying to work with a partnership or trying to solicit partnerships in the local community to help us support some of these amenities, but we haven't been real successful in getting people to come forward and help.
A donation system at the trail just hasn't worked, and bikers riding Thursday agreed a fee might not be a bad idea.
I think that'd be fine. It's nice to come to a place that's well taken care of, and I think it's worth a small donation, you know, to have a nice area to come to. So.
Well, I think that fees are great if they're used for maintenance of the facilities, the area around, and the environmental protection.
A small fee, I think anybody would be willing to pay. The place is relatively clean. I did go by 2 beer cans on the road and had to pick them up this morning when we were checking out back. But, you know, any organization like that deserves a little, you know, extra credit. I don't know how state funding works for, you know, what kind of money they get, but it'd probably be a good idea.
I think it's a really good idea. I think maybe, though, that they could not charge people from Moab. Let the locals go in for free.
The crowds have found Moab, and the BLM is hoping they can catch up with the crowd. This is Ken Davey for Channel 6.
High school graduation takes place Thursday evening, but for a group of other Grand County students, Thursday morning was the time for academic recognition that seems just as important. It was the class of 2005, better known as this year's crop of graduating kindergarten students. who successfully completed Phase 1 of their formal education and to get ready for next year for the brave new world of first grade. Among the honorees could be a future U.S. President, Supreme Court Chief Justice, maybe even county council members. For the students and the parents, the sky's the limit.
Welcome to a kindergarten achievement program. We're glad you could come. We would like to introduce a very important person who makes school a fun place to be. Let's welcome our principal, Ms. Hopkins.
Needless to say, I'm very proud of our kindergarten class this year, and it is with great pride that we now give our achievement awards to our kindergarten students.
Looking back on their first year of schooling, the students summed up their feelings of what kindergarten was all about.
There is just one golden sun, and smile means friendship everyone. Go to mountains divide and the ocean alive. It's a small world after all. 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 It's a small world after all.
Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
Subway sandwiches are incredible and piled high with as many ingredients as you can choose. Try a footlong for a huge appetite. Hot or cold sandwiches too. Subway's the place in Moab for a midnight snack. The bread's baked fresh daily, whole wheat or white. Call 259-SUBS to place an order. Go for a sub today at Subway on Main Street.
It's the first annual Moab Arts Festival this Saturday and Sunday at Moab City Park from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Over 100 talented artists and musicians from throughout the West will create an entertainment experience that your friends and family are sure to enjoy. Mimes, belly dancers, fine art, crafts, food, and continuous live music are all sponsored by the Moab Artists Co-op and the Moab Arts Council. Admission is free.
Visit Sherry's Country Store for the finest antique reproductions in southeastern Utah. Choose from adorable attic babies and charming doll buggies, pressed glassware, and pine furniture. Antique reproduction signs bring back fond memories of days gone by. Children's collectibles include a complete selection of brayer horses. If Southwest is your design, shop Sherry's for the latest trend. When you need a gift, remember Sherry's Country Store of Gifts, Western Plaza, downtown Moab.
It's no secret that Moab Valley Inn provides comfortable accommodations and outstanding service. Moab Valley Inn is expanding their facility to provide additional accommodations and services to pamper their guests. The facility expansion will include additional rooms and suites, room service, indoor-outdoor swimming pool, convention center, restaurant, and more. Moab Valley Inn. Our customers enjoy the best.
It was cloudy, then clearing, then cloudy again on Thursday with some showers through the valley, and look for more mixed weather over the holiday weekend. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Monday. Look for some occasional thunder showers. And if you're heading into the canyons, keep an eye out for flash flooding. Look for afternoon high temperatures in the upper 80s to mid-90s, overnight lows at around 60 degrees. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. With the holiday weekend, Channel 6 will take a few days off. Our next broadcast will be Tuesday evening at 6:30. And as we leave, let's take one more look at the graduating class of 2005.
We could be a lot of men when we
Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. A boat mistakenly goes down Cataract Canyon with 2 passengers missing and presumed drowned. And a Jeep rollover kills 2 people near the Schaefer Trail. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank. I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
Subway sandwiches are incredible and piled high with as many ingredients as you can choose. Try a foot-long for a huge appetite. Hot or cold sandwiches, too. Subway's the place in Moab for a midnight snack. The bread's baked fresh daily, whole wheat or white. Call 259-SUBS to place an order. Go for a sub today at Subway on Main Street.
What makes you an individual is more than just what you do and how you do it. It's where you've been, where you want to go. It's your beliefs, fears, and needs. Which is why your Farm Bureau agent cares enough to get to know you, so your insurance and financial plans meet your needs today and change with you to meet them tomorrow. The Farm Bureau family. Our most important policy is caring.
Alpine Air has conveniently scheduled flights from Canyonlands Airfield to Salt Lake City and Grand Junction. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, save up to 36% on airfare by planning ahead. Discount rates are available on both one-way and round-trip flights. Serving Moab for over 10 years, Alpine Air is your Moab connection.
The busy Memorial Day weekend resulted in tragedy in 2 separate fatal accidents. The first took place Saturday when a boat participating in the Friendship Cruise mistakenly went down through Cataract Canyon. 2 people are presumed to have drowned. Park Service River Ranger Jim Braggs explained what happened.
We had a boat with 3 gentlemen in it take a wrong turn at the confluence and head down into Cataract Canyon. They actually ran about 21 rapids before the boat broke up. Actually went over Niagara Rock in Big Drop 2 and broke up. Flipped and broke up, actually. And the 3 men were tossed in the water. 1 man was able to grab a life jacket and swim to shore at the bottom of Big Drop 3. The other 2 men were never seen again, or not seen again.
Were they wearing life jackets?
They were not wearing life jackets.
The man who was rescued was William J. Call, a 42-year-old resident of Denver. The 2 missing men were identified as 70-year-old David Roy Burt of Layton, Utah, and Paul Henry Shields, 77, of Salt Lake City. Bragg said the Park Service continued to search for the bodies throughout the weekend.
Survivor was picked up by our rescue boats down at the bottom of the rapids within about 20-25 minutes of the accident. The Rangers down there saw pieces of debris, boat debris floating by, and responded upstream to that area and picked up the survivor. Survivor was then picked up by helicopter. We flew the search area for well over an hour in the helicopter and could see no visible signs of any survivors.
The Friendship Cruise is an annual event where power boats cruise down the Green River, then up the Colorado. Bragg said the event, which included about 100 boats this year, warns participants about Cataract Canyon.
At registration, everybody's given a packet. They're asked to sign a release, and in that release, they're asked to, they're warned or told about the confluence, and they're actually told not to go below the confluence. and so it's stressed pretty heavily. This boat was also contacted by a Friendship Cruise official on the water, probably 15 miles upstream from the confluence.
Bragg said that he can recall 2 other incidents of boats mistakenly entering Cataract Canyon, with one of them resulting in a fatality. On Saturday, the flow of the river was 67,500 cubic feet per second. By Sunday, that had gone up to over 70,000 CFS, but dropped down again Tuesday to about 68,500 CFS. Park Service officials say they expect the river to peak sometime this week. 2 other fatalities occurred when a 4-wheel drive vehicle flipped over while out on the trail Sunday afternoon. Grand County Sheriff's Deputy Archie Walker told Channel 6 what happened.
Sunday afternoon we had a fatal accident in the area of Fossil Point, probably better known now as Thelma and Louise Point. One Jeep vehicle proceeding up Schaefer Trail, misnavigated a corner, left the road, the vehicle rolled, ejecting all persons.
What happened to the people in the car?
One subject fatal at the scene, another one fatal in transit by air helicopter.
So 2 of the 4 died?
2 of the 4 passed away, and broken bones, scrapes and abrasions by the other 3.
30-year-old Kurt Robert Duncan of West Jordan was pronounced dead at the scene. 22-year-old Sean Geiling died en route to St. Mary's Hospital in Grand Junction. Both were passengers in a vehicle driven by 20-year-old Jason Cruz of West Jordan.
Was there alcohol involved?
I believe there was, yes.
Are there charges pending?
There are, and that San Juan County has the case under investigation at this time.
Monday was Memorial Day, a day to remember military veterans who sacrificed their time and sometimes their lives for their country. And here in Moab, the American Legion Post 54 remembered Moab's veterans with a special flag raising at the cemetery. 25 Legion members participated in erecting flags and memorial markers for the sons of Moab who have died, and remembering the many Americans who gave their lives over the history of the Republic. The flag raising is an annual Memorial Day event. And on Saturday and Sunday, hundreds of local residents and visitors took some time to cruise the Moab Arts Festival at the new city park. On hand were dozens of artists and craftspeople displaying everything from handmade furniture and hand-woven rugs to watercolors, pottery, and handmade clothing. People also listened to entertainment throughout both days and sampled a variety of foods. The festival was considered a big success, and many local artists who weren't able to organize the display this year say they will probably be part of the activities next year. Will the Moab City Council put the question of hiring a city manager on the November ballot? That's one topic that will be discussed at Tuesday's City Council meeting. Currently, the mayor is the central administrative official of the city, but in April, the council reduced some of the mayor's powers and agreed to hire a city manager effective January of 1994. But Mayor Tom Stocks has been critical of that decision and has called for having the question put on the ballot this November, when the position of mayor and 2 city council spots are up for a vote. The Bureau of Land Management said things went very smoothly for them over this holiday weekend, and Grand County High School graduates the class of 1993. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
Spanish Valley Nursery is still the place where your planting and landscaping needs can be met with the finest quality plants in the region. In our greenhouses, we have a large selection of vegetables, herbs, and bedding plants in full bloom, along with beautiful patio pots and hanging baskets. To complete a yard or enhance a new one, we have a large selection of rose bushes, daylilies, cannas, ground cover, small and large evergreens, and fruit and shade trees in sizes to meet your individual needs. Visit Spanish Valley Nursery today, where everything is always first quality.
Value Foods, stress-free shopping where the service is unbelievable.
Ray Tibbetts, Canyon Country Realty, one of the good guys.
He's crazy about the rodeo. He says he's crazy about me. I don't know. Maybe he's just plain crazy.
Here's to rodeo cowboys, the women who love them, and cowboy cut jeans. Wrangler.
Visit Sherry's Country Store for the finest antique reproductions in southeastern Utah. Choose from adorable attic babies and charming doll buggies, pressed glassware and pine furniture. Antique reproduction signs bring back fond memories of days gone by. Children's collectibles include a complete selection of brayer horses. If Southwest is your design, shop Sherry's for the latest trend. When you need a gift, remember Sherry's Country Store of Gifts, Western Plaza, downtown Moab.
One of the big problems is kids. Kids dare each other to do dumb things.
They climb trees or fences near power lines.
It's not too smart.
Sometimes they even try to climb power poles and towers themselves.
It's dumb to take a dare like that. It's deadly. Won't catch me up there. I kind of like being on the ground anyway.
What are the chances the federal government can begin to reduce the growing deficit? Will Congress pass a national health plan? Those are some of the questions that Congressman Bill Orton will discuss with local residents Wednesday evening. The congressman has scheduled a town meeting in Moab beginning at 7 p.m. at the Board of Education offices. The meeting is one of a series Orton is holding this week throughout the region. On Tuesday evening, he talks with San Juan County residents in Monticello, and on Thursday, he'll be in Castledale in Emery County. Along with the budget, the federal deficit, and health care, Orton will also discuss other issues of local interest. Now, once again, the meeting is Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. at the school board offices on 4th East. It was a very busy weekend at Slick Rock Bike Trail and for the Bureau of Land Management, who set up a special information booth at the Slick Rock area. The aim was to make sure visitors understood that camping was allowed only in designated campsites and that vehicles were limited to existing trails only. According to Grand Resource Area Manager Brad Palmer, most of the bikers, hikers, jeepers, and campers were pleased by the agency's efforts.
For the most part, all of our comments were positive. People appreciated what we were doing up there, felt that it was appropriate. They liked the fact that that people were camped where they were supposed to be camped and that we were providing them with lots of information. And like I said, on the whole, it was a good experience. One of the people on my staff indicated it's probably the quietest Memorial Day that they've ever experienced in Moab. You know, we don't know whether it was because of the flooding, whether it was because of what we did at the bike trail, or what it was, but things went really well.
The agency says they learned the hard way over the Easter weekend that their presence is needed over the busy holiday weekends. With thousands of people heading up to the area, it's easy for things to get out of control, and most of the visitors supported their efforts.
They were very appreciative, and they said, we recognize that you need to do something up here. We support what you're doing, and keep up the good work.
During the hottest part of the summer, camping pressure at Slick Rock eases up, only to accelerate again in the fall when cooler temperatures return, and the agency will be ready.
We're going to visit with the county council and see what kind of long-term coverage in terms of a regular visitor contact station or whatever that they might be willing to support. Try to get some local involvement in what what would be appropriate. And naturally we're going to be out, probably have the same type of setup Labor Day weekend. I don't know whether it'll be necessary on the 4th of July because it's so hot and a lot of people don't go up there. But we're looking at the major weekends, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Easter weekend, providing that kind of service.
It was the culmination of their high school lives for 84 members of the class of 1993 as they went through commencement exercises last Thursday evening. For the students and for their families, it was a night to remember.
Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay, forever young, forever young, forever young, forever young. May good fortune be with you, may your guiding light be strong. Build a stairway to heaven with the pretty soil vagabond. And may you never love in vain. And in my heart you will remain. Forever young, forever young, forever young, forever young.
The class of 1993 featured 19 members of the National Honor Society. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
Hello everyone, I'm Wesley Ruff from Sports for Utah. This Saturday, June 5th, we're going to be at the Moab Golf Course, hole number 4 for the start of our 1993 Beat the Pro campaign. We have a special guest celebrity pro, John Dupree, the weekend news anchor of News 4 Utah, and we guarantee that everyone's going to have a good chance to beat his shot. So come out and join us this Saturday.
Make Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration your first step to cool this summer with one of their new swamp coolers. Nelson's also offers parts, service, and installation. And if it's appliances you're after, Nelson's proudly presents Whirlpool and Maytag brands for low energy use, fewer repairs, and great warranties. Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration, serving Moab for 30 years, 1070 Bowling Alley Lane.
B. Osborne's is the most complete bookstore in southeast Utah. Your complete bookstore for magazines, books, maps, special orders from anywhere, magazines from Europe, newspapers from major cities of the U.S. Need a special gift for that person on your list who is hard to please? Get a gift certificate from B. Osborne's and let them please themselves. B. Osborne's Books and Magazines, 50 South Main in Moab, your bookstore and more.
After a sweltering holiday weekend, it cooled off on Tuesday, down to only the low 90s. Look for warm days to continue, but expect some clouds with a chance of some showers through the week. Forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Wednesday and Thursday. Some showers are expected, but they should be scattered and more likely at higher elevations. Look for afternoon high temperatures around 90 degrees, overnight lows in the 60s. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The city of Moab will begin construction on the Mill Creek Flood Control Parkway project this summer. We'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues.
Rim Cyclery features outstanding quality outdoor footwear. Check out the great prices on the Vast Superlight leather shoes, designed for long walks on light trails. The Vast Variable Fit system provides custom-fitted shoes for your lifestyle. Step on down to Rim Cyclery, 94 West, 100 North.
Been working hard all week? Looking forward to the weekend? Then treat yourself to a relaxing moment and a gourmet breakfast at the Rio restaurant. The Rio has excellent service and a delicious breakfast entrees every Saturday and Sunday, especially for you. Breakfast menu items will tantalize your taste buds. Eggs Florentine, huevos rancheros, or a chili verde omelet. The Rio restaurant, a great weekend breakfast place with fine southwestern cuisine anytime.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank. I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
Pick up a current copy of Moab Happenings for the latest information on activities, dining, school events, recreation, filled with pictures and maps, and it's free. Moab Happenings.
Make Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration your first step to cool this summer with one of their new swamp coolers. Nelson's also offers parts, service, and installation. And if it's appliances you're after, Nelson's proudly presents Whirlpool and Maytag brands for low energy use, fewer repairs, and great warranties. Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration, serving Moab for 30 years, 1070 Bowling Alley Lane.
The city of Moab may be getting started on actual construction of the Mill Creek Flood Control and Parkway project. That was the word Tuesday evening from City Planner David Olson, who told the City Council that grant money is now available for the project. The major aim is controlling the stream that runs right through town, making sure that high water stays in the creek bed. But another aim is recreation, taking advantage of a cool, green strip of land through the desert. And Olson told Channel 6 that with this financing, the plan is just about ready to go.
We have 3 sources, 2 federal. We have a $55,000 CDBG, which is a Community Development Block Grant, total grant, no match. And we're going to match that with a Riverway Enhancement, which is a state grant of $55,000. And then we have another grant called the Enhancement, which is Utah Transportation, kind of connected with the state, but it's federal monies and 20% match from the city, 80%.
So how much are we talking about altogether?
Oh, close to $200,000.
And what will that money be used for?
Flood walls, a trail, concrete trail system in the downtown area.
Can you actually build the flood walls and the walkway for $200,000?
Yes.
When do you think we'll see some action in getting started on this?
Okay, this late summer we will see the first east area developed. We will plant 60 or so trees here. We'll put in a pedestrian bridge and 4 trails going different directions.
The Mill Creek project has been on the drawing board for years. One of the holdups is the checkerboard ownership of the land along the creek, some private, some public. And the city has had to work around that.
How is the process of trying to get that all under one roof coming?
Slowly. We're doing some land trades, giving a piece of our right-of-way that probably will never be used in return for some of the creek area.
What's been the reaction of most of the private landowners? Are they for it? Are they against it? Do they not care? What have they been telling you?
They're all concerned. They all have their conditions. Some are for it. I know that there are 3 or 4 that are totally against it. And we will only work with those that will work with us on this.
Eventually, the project will stretch from Powerhouse Dam area right down to the Colorado River. But for the moment, the city is concentrating on getting the downtown portion completed. In other city business, the council voted to hire Montgomery Watson Engineering to begin analyzing some of the work of a $3 million water and sewer improvement project. The first step is coming up with a financial plan for the replacement of the main water transmission line from city wells near the golf course into town. Last year, an inspection of the existing line showed corrosion, leaks, and other problems. Replacing it will be expensive, in the $1 million range, but it's needed to ensure fresh water for city residents. The council will also look at some expansion at the city sewer treatment plant. A second primary clarifier will be installed along with a septic tank storage facility. Septic tank waste is highly concentrated and has to be fed into the filtration system slowly. The council decided to take under consideration a proposal by Mayor Tom Stocks to put the question of a city manager to a special election. 2 months ago, the council voted to shift administrative city functions from the mayor on to a manager hired by the council. Stocks wants that decision to go to a vote. And finally, the council appointed Bill McDougall as the city representative to the County Special Service Solid Waste Management District. That body will oversee the operation of the dump and county recycling, and will have to deal with the increasingly and more complex question of disposing of garbage. Cancer is a leading and growing cause of death for women in the United States, but medical advances in recent years mean that early detection can often lead to successful treatment. The Southeast Utah District Health Department is holding a special women's cancer screening program on Thursday, June 3rd. The clinic takes place at the LDS Stake Center on Locust Lane and runs from 8:30 a.m. on through the day. The Health District will provide low-cost tests and free cancer prevention information for women of all ages. All examinations are performed privately by specially trained registered nurses, and all women are encouraged to call the district for an appointment. Fees are based on your ability to pay, and no one will be turned away. So you're urged to call the Health Department at 259-5602 or 259-8448 for an appointment time. Moab gets geared up for the rodeo and the Rodeo Queen and Princess contests, and we'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues.
For the best RV camp park in Moab, it's Holiday Haven, with oversized spaces to accommodate the largest RVs under mature shade trees, all with a convenient central location. Holiday Haven is also Moab's finest mobile home park that offers country living in the city. An established park with pool, playground, laundry facilities, and a retired section. For comfortable RV or mobile home living, it's Holiday Haven, 400 North, 5th West.
You have to always be careful when you're moving irrigation pipes. They're tall enough to touch a power line. There might be a big power line up there. You might get electrocuted. Sometimes little animals crawl in the sprinkler pipes. Kids tip them up to get the animals out. Oh, bad idea. It's not too smart. Look up. You might be surprised what's up there. Good idea.
Breaking ground? Call Utah Gas Service Company before you dig. When you dig anything from a post hole to a major excavation, you run the risk of breaking up a gas line. Play it safe. Gas lines can be buried almost anywhere. We're glad to locate our lines for you free of charge. Call Utah Gas Service Company.
Welcome to the new downtown kitchen. New look, new menu, Burgers and fries are out, gyro and pita sandwiches are in. The gyro has delicious slices of beef and lamb on pita bread, smothered with tzatziki sauce and topped with lettuce and tomatoes. We offer a wide choice of pita bread sandwiches, along with chef's salads and baked potatoes, both a meal within themselves. We still offer the best pizza in the valley with free delivery, so come in and enjoy a delicious meal prepared by chefs John and Carrie.
By most accounts, the Bureau of Land Management effort over the Memorial Day weekend to control camping along the Sand Flats area was a big success. But some believe there were some rough edges that have to be worked out. One of them is Robin Groff, one of the owners of Rim Cyclery. Groff told Channel 6 he applauds the efforts of the BLM to make sure the land is protected from overuse and abuse.
Oh, I believe the BLM needs to play an ever-increasing role in managing its resource up by the Slick Rock Trail. And now, case in point is this last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, where they had an information booth up there, and they had a limited number of campsites. And I certainly don't disagree with managing the resource up there.
But the problem, says Groff, is a lack of communications. The BLM used a sticker system for cars using the Slick Rock area over the weekend. One color was for day use, another for those in designated camp spots. And the BLM told people the day use stopped at 9 p.m., but Sand Flats is a county road and access can't just be denied. The BLM says, in fact, it wasn't closed, that no one was told they couldn't use it. But it touches on a growing problem in the area, access to roads across both public and private lands.
Land access issues in Grand County are going to be an ever-increasing issue. I think we're just touching the edge of it here. There are certainly county jurisdictions versus BLM jurisdictions versus Park Service, Forest Service, state lands, and all of these are starting to come to a head in the fact that roads go across all of these lands. So there are varying jurisdictions plus private land, and until this county sort of gets all that sorted out, there's going to be conflicts among user groups and among the landlords of the federal government, the state government, and the county government.
The BLM efforts over the weekend resulted in a smoother operation and a better time for most of the land users up there. But Groff believes future plans should be more fully explained and understood.
I think the public does need an input, and I believe there needs to be a dialogue opened up between all the entities involved.
What are the chances the federal government can begin to reduce the growing deficit? Will Congress pass a national health plan? Those are some of the questions that Congressman Bill Orton will discuss with local residents Wednesday evening. The congressman has scheduled a town meeting in Moab beginning at 7 p.m. at the Board of Education offices on 4th East. The meeting is one of a series Orton is holding this week throughout the region. In just about a week, it's time for the Butch Cassidy Days Canyonlands Rodeo, and it's also time for the Rodeo Queen and Rodeo Princess contests. Some of the contestants gathered Wednesday to explain a little bit about the rodeo and rodeo royalty. Last year, the rodeo was close to a sellout with big crowds and great performances. And according to Kelsey Holyoke, one reason for its popularity is the connection to the nation's past.
It basically goes back to our American heritage. America was the days of the West when that's how we made our living, was from riding rough stock and branding cows and using the cattle to make money. And so it's just a way of reliving that heritage.
The Rodeo Queen plays a role in the event itself, says Amy Hickman.
Just pretty much promote the rodeo and help the cowboys with the rough stock and stuff. We're at all of the performances at night, and we are at the parade.
And the Canyonlands Rodeo features all of the events of the rodeo circuit. And Bambi Holder explained what some of them are.
They have two different sections. One is the rough stock, and the other is timed events. The rough stock consists of the bucking, the bareback riding, bull riding, and saddle bronc riding. And the other timed events are for the barrels, calf roping, things that they time.
Along with the Queen contest, there is also competition for Rodeo Princess. Vanessa Pearson explains she and other competitors have been busy speaking to groups and promoting the rodeo over the last few months.
The first time I spoke was really hard. I was scared, but after that it's gotten a lot easier.
And is that one of the aims of the contest, to make it easier for the contestants to learn how to do those things?
I think so. I think to have people more outgoing and be a little less shy, and that's one of the things that would help the contest.
The Rodeo Queen and Princess competition will be Sunday afternoon at the Old Spanish Trail Arena. The rodeo opens next Thursday evening, June the 10th, with the Downtown Rodeo Parade Saturday morning, June 12th. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
The last time you rode something this versatile, it probably had a tail and a mind of its own. Meet the modern workhorse. It's tough as nails, great fun, and stays right where you leave it. So come in today and take a good look at the complete Quad Runner line. And next time you're bound for the range, slip the old Merit Sugar Cube and head out on a new Suzuki instead.
Call Glenn Davis at Davis Service Center in Montrose.
Hello everyone, I'm Wesley Ruff from Sports for Utah. This Saturday, June 5th, we're going to be at the Moab Golf Course, hole number 4 for the start of our 1993 Beat the Pro campaign. We have a special guest celebrity pro, John Dupree, the weekend news anchor of News 4 Utah, and we guarantee that everyone's going to have a good chance to beat his shot. So come out and join us this Saturday.
Crazy about the rodeo. He says he's crazy about me. I don't know. Maybe he's just plain crazy.
Here's to rodeo cowboys, the women who love them, and cowboy cut jeans. Wrangler.
Blue skies in the morning gave way to high clouds by afternoon, with temperatures reaching the upper 80s, and look for more of the same right on through the weekend. Forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Thursday and Friday, with a chance of some isolated afternoon and evening thunder showers. Look for slightly cooler temperatures ranging from overnight lows around 55 to highs in the mid-80s. Look for the partly cloudy skies to continue right on through Saturday and Sunday, with highs staying in the 80s. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The Colorado River has apparently claimed another victim in Cataract Canyon. We'll be back with that story when Channel 6 News continues.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank, and I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
Best Value Foods, stress-free shopping where the service is unbelievable.
It's no secret that Moab Valley Inn provides comfortable accommodations and outstanding service. Moab Valley Inn is expanding their facility to provide additional accommodations and services to pamper their guests. The facility expansion will include additional rooms and suites, room service, indoor-outdoor swimming pool, convention center, restaurant, and more. Moab Valley Inn. Our customers enjoy the best.
Hurry down to Family Drug for fast, friendly service. Professional pharmacist Michael Gorman is better serving your family's health needs with computerized key patient profiles. Your patient profile is reviewed for possible allergic reaction or drug interaction problems each time you fill a prescription at Family Drug. Senior citizen discounts are available on prescription drug purchases, and insurance cards are always welcome. Family Drug, where courtesy is contagious. Waters of Cataract Canyon have apparently claimed another victim. On Thursday, a local helicopter service was called out to help in the recovery of a body found near the 10 Cents Rapid area of the canyon. By Thursday afternoon, the Park Service was still trying to gather information on the incident, and details are sketchy. But one report is that the body is of a young adult male who was wearing a life jacket when found. And that would mean it was not one of the victims of last weekend's accident that killed two older men when their motorboat mistakenly went into the canyon during the Friendship Cruise. By early Thursday, the mysterious disease that has hit people living in the Navajo Reservation has claimed 13 lives, and medical officials don't know what's causing it or how to stop it. Officials from the Center for Disease Control are trying to isolate patients with the illness known as acute respiratory distress syndrome. The symptoms are flu-like, where apparently healthy young adults experience body ache, fever, cough, which rapidly escalates and has led to death. Antibiotics have not seemed to help. The victims have been in the area between Gallup and Farmington in New Mexico, and officials are very worried it can spread way beyond that region. Can Utah residents come up with a solution to the wilderness log jam? That's the goal of the Coalition for Utah's Future Project 2000, which is holding a special series of meetings here at the Helen M. Knight School. The wilderness question has split state residents, with proposals ranging from no more wilderness at all to setting aside more than 5 million acres. According to Steve Holbrook, the aim of Project 2000 is to get people in a room to discuss their agreements and disagreements to see if something can be worked out.
Well, our main concern is bringing the what we call the stakeholders, which are all of the people who have a stake in this, from the environmental community to the multiple use community to the governmental people, and bringing them together so that they can work together to come up with solutions. We're not trying to come up with a solution ourselves. Our solution is bringing the people together, and that's our main goal.
Holbrook says the coalition has looked at other problems in the state and has provided a meeting ground for leaders with different points of view.
Project 2000 is a group of concerned Utahns, mostly leaders from the education, business, media community, who want to make a difference in critical issues that face Utah's future. And among those that we've dealt with in the past have been child care, health care, transportation. We think that people can get more from this kind of a process than they can from an adversarial process. In other words, you can spend a lot of time in a war fighting each other with lawsuits and attempting to overlord the other side with legislative victories and that sort of thing. But in the long run, we think that more can be accomplished by working together.
The Project 2000 meeting continues on Friday. Moab now has a public transportation system, sort of. It's not trains or buses, but bicycles. And they're not publicly financed, but a special donation from the Poison Spider Bike Shop. That company has put a fleet of green bicycles, the Green Speed Fleet, out on the roads. They are available to anyone who needs them for a ride around town. According to Brad Chisholm, it's a public service gesture by Poison Spider Bikes.
It's kind of Poison Spider's contribution to the town to try to get people to ride when they can as opposed to drive, and facilitate air places here and there. They can hopefully find a 3-speed within a reasonable distance, jump on it, and get around town a little easier.
How many bikes have you got out there?
We've got 13 right now, and possibly a few more coming. Nothing for sure.
The bikes have been out on the road for a week or so, and so far the response has been good.
It's been great. Mostly we've seen kids riding them. I think the older people are a little hesitant right now, but hopefully they'll get into it too. They're intended for everybody that comes to Moab, that lives in Moab, passing through, or whether you reside here. But for the most part right now, we've seen children, high school age, and younger riding them around.
Are you worried about the bikes suddenly disappearing?
Not worried. I mean, we're aware of the fact that it could happen anytime, and if it does, it does. You know, there are bikes that they've been used quite a bit already, and they were probably going to be trashed if we didn't pick them up anyway. So if they're stolen, somebody's going to have some bad karma on their shoulders for a while.
So if you see the Green Speed Fleet around town, use it in good health and take advantage of another bike shop feature, a free repair area with gratis use of tools. Services will be held Saturday for lifelong Moab resident Verona Murphy Stocks, who died Thursday at Allen Memorial Hospital. She was 88 years of age. She is survived by sons Robert Muir of Moab and twins Joe Stocks of Phoenix and Jerry Stocks of Moab, and by daughters Linda Stocks of North Dakota and Verona Stevens of Moab. She is also survived by a sister, Felicia Stocks, and brother, Nick Murphy, both of Moab, along with numerous grand and great-grandchildren. Services will be held Saturday at 11 a.m. at the LDS Stake Center, with interment to follow at Grand Valley Cemetery. And a viewing will be held Friday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Dish Funeral Home. And a viewing will also be held 1 hour prior to services Saturday at the Stake Center. Congressman Bill Orton comes to Moab. We'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues.
I'm Wesley Ruff from Sports for Utah. This Saturday, June 5th, we're going to be at the Moab Golf Course, hole number 4, for the start of our 1993 Beat the Pro campaign. We have a special guest celebrity pro, John Dupree, the weekend news anchor of News 4 Utah, and we guarantee that everyone's going to have a good chance to beat his shot. So come out and join us this Saturday.
Subway sandwiches are incredible and piled high with as many ingredients as you can choose. Try a footlong for a huge appetite. Hot or cold sandwiches, too. Subway's the place in Moab for a midnight snack. The bread's baked fresh daily, whole wheat or white. Call 259-SUBS to place an order. Go for a sub today at Subway on Main Street.
Ray Tibbetts, Canyon Country Realty, one of the good guys.
Valley Nursery is still the place where your planting and landscaping needs can be met with the finest quality plants in the region. In our greenhouses, we have a large selection of vegetables, herbs, and bedding plants in full bloom, along with beautiful patio pots and hanging baskets. To complete a yard or enhance a new one, we have a large selection of rose bushes, daylilies, cannas, ground cover, small and large evergreens, and fruit and shade trees in sizes to meet your individual needs. Visit Spanish Valley Nursery today, where everything is always first quality.
Visit Sherry's Country Store for the finest antique reproductions in southeastern Utah. Choose from adorable attic babies and charming doll buggies, pressed glassware, and pine furniture. Antique reproduction signs bring back fond memories of days gone by. Children's collectibles include a complete selection of brayer horses. If Southwest is your design, shop Sherry's for the latest trend. When you need a gift, remember Sherry's Country Store of Gifts, Western Plaza, downtown Moab.
The United States Congress has taken a short break, and 3rd District Representative Bill Orton took advantage of the time to tour his district. Orton was in Moab Wednesday and Thursday, meeting with local elected officials and others, and he updated Channel 6 on some of the issues affecting residents here. Orton supports much, but not all, of the Clinton administration's economic package.
We have to shift our spending and reinvest in infrastructure, in education, in people. I agree with the president. I also believe that there are people out there who have not been carrying their fair share of the load. Over the past decade, the 1% richest part of the nation has decreased their tax burden by 136%. The rest of the people, it increases on.
But one plan he does not back is an energy tax, which would hit consumers across the board.
What I did not support was the energy tax. I think that breaking faith with the middle-class American, telling them that we weren't going to raise their taxes, and then turning right around and saying, well, we decided we've got to do this and raise their taxes, you then lose support of the public. We cannot solve the problems without the support of the public.
What should happen with the Atlas tailings pile? The 10 million tons of waste containing heavy metal and radioactivity is located just north of town next to the Colorado River. The Atlas Corporation wants to cap the pile and seal it in place, but some, including county council members, say they want to look at moving the pile away from both town and the river. Orton stopped short of endorsing an environmental impact statement on the problem, but did say the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has to look seriously at more than just Atlas's plan.
I have met with the county council about it. We are following it. We try not to make decisions for everybody else. I try not to micromanage decisions of counties, of cities, of federal agencies. We want them to work within the parameters. I believe that it's reasonable to look at all of the alternatives. And I believe that, that the alternatives ought to be studied of either transporting it for disposal or disposal on site. I don't know which is the best alternative. I haven't done the study.
Local officials estimate that as much as half of Moab's population is without adequate health care insurance. That puts a strain not only on families facing injuries or disease, but also the local hospital, which often foots the bill for people who can't pay. Washington is now looking at a nationwide health care plan.
Will you support a national health plan that covers all Americans?
I hope we can create a national health plan that covers all Americans, yes. That's one of our goals. We want everyone to be covered. The question is, how do you do it? When do you do it? And how do you pay for it? And who pays for it? Those are the tough questions that you have to resolve. That's why we have to get it into the public sector. We need to determine what kinds of plans that accomplish that are doable within the parameters of Congress. Are people willing to pay a higher tax if need be? Are businesses willing to pay? Should we do it through cost savings first and then use cost savings to expand access?
Wilderness designation continues to be an issue in this part of the state. The BLM is recommending almost 2 million acres. Orton has proposed a much smaller amount, around 1.2 million acres, but he also says close to another 2 million acres should be set aside as national conservation areas, a less restrictive designation.
So National Conservation Area really does two different things. It allows you to focus a management plan specific for the resources and the uses of those resources in that area. So it allows you to be very directed and focused while preserving or conserving the resources that you have in that area for present and future generations.
Orton said he will be back in Moab later this year after the Clinton administration releases its health care plan. Orton will hold a meeting here to find out what local residents think. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
Been working hard all week? Looking forward to the weekend? Then treat yourself to a relaxing moment and a gourmet breakfast at the Rio restaurant. The Rio has excellent service and a delicious breakfast entrees every Saturday and Sunday, especially for you. Breakfast menu items will tantalize your taste buds. Eggs Florentine, huevos rancheros, or a chili verde omelet. The Rio restaurant, a great weekend breakfast place with fine southwestern cuisine anytime.
John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance is your agent on the scene and behind the scene to make sure you get prompt, efficient response to your insurance claims. John Fogg at Central Utah Insurance, your independent insurance agent, the agent who works for you. Some blue skies and some clouds stayed over the valley on Thursday, with temperatures staying cool, highs in the 70s. Look for more clouds, cooler readings, and a chance of rain over the next few days. The forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Saturday and Sunday. Look for afternoon high temperatures in the 80s, overnight lows around 55. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. The Park Service says the man who died Thursday while trying to swim Cataract Canyon was a Moab resident. We'll have that story, plus a look at the Project 2000 conference in Moab when Channel 6 News continues.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank, and I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
For the best RV camp park in Moab, it's Holiday Haven, with oversized spaces to accommodate the largest RVs under mature shade trees, all with a convenient central location. Holiday Haven is also Moab's finest mobile home park that offers country living in the city. An established park with pool, playground, laundry facilities, and a retired section. For comfortable RV or mobile home living, it's Holiday Haven, 400 North, 5th West.
B. Osborne's is the most complete bookstore in southeast Utah. Your complete bookstore for magazines, books, maps, special orders from anywhere, magazines from Europe, newspapers from major cities of the U.S. Need a special gift for that person on your list who is hard to please? Get a gift certificate from B. Osborne's and let them please themselves. B. Osborne's Books and Magazines, 50 South Main in Moab, your bookstore and more.
Hello everyone, I'm Wesley Ruff from Sports for Utah. This Saturday, June 5th, we're going to be at the Moab Golf Course, hole number 4 for the start of our 1993 Beat the Pro campaign. We have a special guest celebrity pro, John Dupree, the weekend news anchor of News 4 Utah, and we guarantee that everyone's going to have a good chance to beat his shot. So come out and join us this Saturday.
Canyonlands National Park officials have confirmed that the body found floating in Cataract Canyon Thursday afternoon was a local resident who apparently died while trying to swim the rapids. The victim was identified as Stanley Hollister, 52 years of age, of Moab. Park Service Public Information Officer Larry Frederick explained to Channel 6 what happened.
Thursday afternoon, our ranger staff was patrolling the lower sections of Cataract Canyon within Canyonlands National Park, and as they were idling in one of the rapids, or the eddies next to the rapids, a body surfaced in the eddy next to them. They were able to get the body to shore and do a tentative identification of the individual in the canyon. They flew the body out by helicopter to Moab and took it to the local funeral home where positive identification was made.
Hollister was an experienced river runner who had worked for local river companies. But the Colorado this spring has been running at the fastest rate in almost 10 years, reaching up to as high as 70,000 cubic feet per second.
It was running at about 65,000 yesterday. It's predicted to be running at 60,000 today. The weather forecast is for slightly cooler temperatures right now, so we expect it to stay around 60,000 cubic feet per second for the next few days.
Do you think the river has crested? Do you think it's reached its height, its heaviest flow?
We're still hearing that there are predictions of it getting up into the 70s and even close to 80,000 cubic feet per second. And a lot of it is weather dependent and whether or not it warms up enough to release water slowly or quickly.
This is the 4th death in Cataract Canyon this river season. A private raft trip participant drowned earlier this year. Last weekend, 2 men disappeared after their boat mistakenly went into the rapids. But Frederick said if people take precautions, the canyon is safe.
Well, we put some restrictions on river travel through Cataract Canyon in the middle of May, and those will remain on until the river subsides some. But currently there's no additional thinking about more restrictions or not allowing private and commercial trips to go through. The river is still safe, and there is a lot of challenging whitewater there to enjoy. And if everybody follows necessary precautions, I think they can have a safe and enjoyable trip.
Until the water subsides, the Park Service is requiring all river trips have more than 1 boat, and that all trips have a motorized support boat as well. Work on the new downtown visitor center continues as crews rush to get everything in order for the official ribbon-cutting ceremony on June 14th. Workers are finishing up the concrete and landscaping work on the outside, while others are busy inside the building, putting together the display area, information desks, offices, and the bookstore. The new building, officially called Moab Information Center, will house visitor services, of the National Parks, the Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management, along with the Grand County Travel Council and the Canyonlands Natural History Association. The aim is to gather together all the information on sightseeing, camping, recreation, and tourist businesses in one location. And the award-winning slideshow, The Canyon's Edge, will be shown evenings during the tourist season. It's June, and that means it's time to break out the fishing gear for another season. And to help get you going, the state of Utah is hosting Free Fishing Day Saturday, June the 5th. The Division of Wildlife Resources, Brett Johnson, explained what it's all about.
Okay, and Free Fishing Day is something that Governor Bangerter enacted in law several years ago to coincide with National Fishing Week. And the division and usually the U.S. Forest Service kind of combine their efforts to make a day for free fishing and camping throughout the state of Utah.
Who are you aiming at mostly?
We're mostly aiming at the young kids. The theme has always been take a kid fishing.
No license is required, though all other fish and game regulations apply, and it's a great opportunity for youngsters to learn the relaxation and pleasure of wetting a line.
I think right now on these mountain lakes, particularly right after the spring runoff or during the spring runoff like this, the lakes are a little bit murky, and a spinner works really good. Some kind of a gold-colored spinner on these mountain lakes. It kind of irritates the fish and works really well, so a youngster can usually do a little bit better with a spinner than he can sitting there with some bait.
Utah leaders come to Moab to discuss wilderness, and the Moab Music Festival is coming to town, and we'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
Rim Cyclery features outstanding quality outdoor footwear. Check out the great prices on the Vast Superlight leather shoes, designed for long walks on light trails. The Vast Variable Fit system provides custom-fitted shoes for your lifestyle. Step on down to Rim Cyclery, 94 West, 100 North.
Moab Hardware and Furniture. Hardware, TVs, appliances, furniture, carpet, automotive, housewares, paint, featuring beautiful living room suites, high-quality interior and exterior home paints, durable gardening tools, powerful vacuum cleaners. Moab Hardware and Furniture, the friendly store.
What makes you an individual is more than just what you do and how you do it. It's where you've been, where you want to go. It's your beliefs, fears, and needs. Which is why your Farm Bureau agent cares enough to get to know you, so your insurance and financial plans meet your needs today and change with you to meet them tomorrow. The Farm Bureau family. Our most important policy is caring.
Can the wilderness debate be resolved through talking it out? That's a question being asked by participants in the Coalition for Utah's Future Project 2000 conference going on in Moab. The meeting has brought together leaders of various government and private organizations, all with different views on wilderness. The aim, say some of the people taking part, is to get away from the rhetoric and concentrate on the reasons why people support or oppose wilderness to better understand your opponent's point of view.
To solve or address or deal with BLM wilderness, not just down in the southeastern corner of Utah, but across the entire state. So the issue is of paramount significance, and it is a large issue. We are here to try to bring these very disparate views together to find some common ground to solve it, solve these issues, solve acreages, whatever it takes, rather than sit there and talk to one another long distance, place allegations on one another, and in that case probably never solve the issue.
You have people in the room who support no more wilderness. Some of them say there's already too much wilderness. You have others who want millions and millions more acres. How do you work out a compromise between those two views?
I guess that's the frustrating part of the whole process. How do you work it out? It's sometimes I feel very encouraged by what goes on, and sometimes I feel very discouraged because of the fact that there are so many factions wanting different things, and I guess that's probably why we're doing this process, to see if we can all sit down at the table and come to some sort of realization that wilderness has got to be something that considers not only certain groups, but communities and schools and families and people, and the impacts on those things.
It's a very long process, and it's a very slow process. We're not going to get anything decided this weekend, but we're going to, or this week, we're going to learn something. And I think we're going to learn something about each other. We're going to learn a little bit more about the issues, a little bit more about the issue of sustainable communities and wilderness. We'll come away with a little better relationships, I think, with the people involved. We'll come away with a little more information. We're not going to solve anything right now, but it's all moving towards something, I believe, and it's a long-term effort.
In the meantime, the Project 2000 participants plan on continuing to talk it out.
So we're hoping that this is going to lead us to a meaningful solution that's good for wilderness and good for our ecosystems and good for the wildlife and open space, and at the same time assists local communities, maintains this community structure that so many people are worried about.
What we're looking at is wilderness that we all can live with.
Moab will have its own classical musical festival this fall. That was the word from professional musician Michael Barrett, who told the Chamber of Commerce this week that there will be 10 days of musical events coming up in about 3 months.
The Moab Music Festival the first annual Moab Music Festival will take place September 9th through September 19th, this coming. So right after Labor Day is when we will begin. We will be about 14 professional musicians from all over the world, and we will be presenting about 5 or 6 events in town and nearby.
Barrett works as a classical musician, and at least in the beginning, the festival will feature tried and true standards.
It's a classical music festival. We're hoping in future years to branch out a little bit. We may have one year have a bluegrass event. We hope to have a Native American event. But for starters, we're going to be doing a lot of standards from Beethoven through more contemporary things.
And a big part of the festival will be the work with Grand County students.
And we've managed to get a grant which will allow us to go into the public schools and work with the school kids. I don't know if you know, but there's a wonderful string program which Sue Miller runs here. It's fairly new, but she does it in the middle school and in the high school. And we've proposed a program where we will go into the schools every day for 3 weeks and work with the kids and work with them on a specific piece and send someone a different instrument in there each day to help them. And at the end of this, they will participate with us on the family concert at Old City Park.
Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
It's no secret that Moab Valley Inn provides comfortable accommodations and outstanding service. Moab Valley Inn is expanding their facility to provide additional accommodations and services to pamper their guests. The facility expansion will include additional rooms and suites, room service, indoor-outdoor swimming pool, convention center, restaurant, and more. Moab Valley Inn. Our customers enjoy the best.
High clouds stayed in the valley on Friday with high temperatures a little bit cooler than normal, around 80 degrees. Look for variable skies to continue over the next few days. Forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for some clouds and some thunderstorms through the weekend and into Monday. Look for afternoon highs in the 80s, cooling down to 70s by Tuesday. Overnight lows should be about 55. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Welcome to the Channel 6 News. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. A Moab resident dies while camping in the La Salle Mountains. We'll have that story when Channel 6 News continues.
Visit Sherry's Country Store for the finest antique reproductions in southeastern Utah. Choose from adorable attic babies and charming doll buggies, pressed glassware, and pine furniture. Antique reproduction signs bring back fond memories of days gone by. Children's collectibles include a complete selection of brayer horses. If Southwest is your design, shop Sherry's for the latest trend. When you need a gift, remember Sherry's Country Store of Gifts, Western Plaza, downtown Moab.
One of the big problems is kids. Kids dare each other to do dumb things.
They climb trees or fences near power lines.
It's not too smart.
Sometimes they even try to climb power poles and towers themselves.
It's dumb to take a dare like that. It's deadly. Won't catch me up there. I kind of like being on the ground anyway.
Building a new home, First Western National Bank offers construction loans and personal service.
It is a pleasure to visit the bank. I feel like we have friends there. It's not just a business situation.
First Western National Bank has an easy loan application process with competitive rates and terms. Meet with friendly local bankers who understand your financial needs.
I'm always treated like a personal friend at First Western National Bank, and I like that.
First Western National Bank, your hometown bank.
In yet another tragic accident, a Moab man lost his life early Sunday morning when a tree, uprooted by strong winds, crashed into his tent in the La Salle Mountains. Shane Stewart, a 21-year-old husband and father, was pronounced dead at Allen Memorial Hospital after a frantic attempt by his camping companions to get him medical attention. Shane was camping near Don's Lake with Jack Stewart and David York. Grand County Sheriff's Deputy Archie Walker explained what happened.
We had an accident up near Don's Lake where the wind blew a tree over. The tree landed on an individual's tent where he was sleeping. Caused fatal injuries to the individual.
According to Walker, it was the type of accident that couldn't be foreseen.
I honestly think this was just a freak accident. The tree that caused the injury came from the bank of the creek. The trees that they were camped in and about were about 15, 20 feet off of the shore of the creek side, so I think it was a freak accident.
This was the 6th recreation-related death in the Moab area in the past 2 weeks. 2 visitors died when their Jeep overturned near the Schaefer Trail. 2 others were presumed dead after their powerboat mistakenly went down Cataract Canyon. And last Thursday, Moab resident Stan Hollister lost his life while trying to swim those same rapids. Shane Stewart was a lifelong Moab resident, a 1990 graduate of Grand County High School. He is survived by his wife Debbie and one-year-old son Stephen Zachary. He is also survived by his parents Stephen and Marilyn Stewart, a sister Christy Stewart, and step-grandmother Reba Stewart. Services will be held Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. at the Christian Center, with interment to follow at Sunset Memorial Cemetery. A viewing will be held Tuesday evening from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Dish Funeral Home. Health officials believe they have determined what is causing the spread of acute respiratory distress syndrome that has killed 11 people in the Four Corners area over the past 3 months. The illness strikes otherwise healthy adults who begin with mild flu-like symptoms that quickly grow worse. Doctors and researchers for the Center for Disease Control say they think it is caused by rodents, rats, and field mice who pass the sickness on to humans. The number of confirmed cases of sickness has dropped, but some doctors worry that it could just be a lull before new outbreaks are seen. Most of the reported cases have been on the Navajo Reservation in Arizona and New Mexico. The Grand County Council will look at a call to clean up Spanish Valley. The council meets Tuesday evening and will hear from local residents who have signed a petition calling for tighter rules and enforcement of property cleanup regulations. The council will also discuss what is happening at Canyonlands Airport and at the old Spanish Valley Airport, where the state of Utah plans to permit takeoffs and landings for a number of commercial customers. The meeting gets underway at 7 p.m. at the school district office on 4th East. And the council will also hear from the Travel Council Board, which will make recommendations for a new Travel Council director. The job has been filled for the past few months by Judith Morris, who took the position on a temporary basis. The Travel Council went on a search for a permanent director, and according to board chairman Lucky Morse, they have agreed on someone.
Thursday night in our Travel Council meeting, we recommended to hire Linda Carlson. She's from Salt Lake City, and she is the one that we've recommended to hire. We've contacted her, and she is willing to accept the position. Tomorrow night, we'll take that name into the new county council and ask them to support that recommendation.
Maybe you could give a little background on her.
She's from Salt Lake City. She's been the assistant public relations director for the Utah Travel Council in the past, and right now she's working in the film industry as far as being a location director or manager or something with the film industry.
The new director will have a full agenda right from the beginning. The board is coming out with a preliminary draft of a strategic business plan to guide their actions in the future.
We've got the final rough draft done. We're reviewing it right now as a board, and we're hoping to be able within the next week or 2 weeks to take that to the county council for their review and for public input.
The Travel Council is also proposing that they change from an advisory board to the county council into a policy and administrative board.
The main difference is really with staffing and as far as the director is concerned. Our policies have always stated that the director reports to the board of the Travel Council, and the ordinance has always stated that the board is simply an advisory board and has no real administrative control. And this is just trying to clarify the discrepancy between the two the policies.
Moab gets ready for the PRCA Rodeo coming Thursday, and local golfers try to beat the pro. We'll have those stories when Channel 6 News continues.
says he's crazy about me. I don't know. Maybe he's just plain crazy.
Here's to rodeo cowboys, the women who love them, and cowboy cut jeans. Wrangler.
Ray Tibbetts, Canyon Country Realty, one of the good guys.
Moab has a new rodeo queen. Kelsey Hollyoak was chosen to reign over the Canyonlands Rodeo. The queen contest was held Sunday afternoon at the Old Spanish Trail Arena. The contestants were judged on their poise and communication skills. Kelsey will preside over much of the rodeo week activities and will ride in the rodeo parade. Chosen attendant was Amy Hickman, who will also be a big part of the parade. And the new rodeo princess is Nicole Christ. The town is getting ready for the rodeo activities. Old Moab has been erected on Main Street and will be the focus of entertainment each evening. The rodeo itself gets underway Thursday evening and runs for 3 nights. And on Saturday, it's the annual rodeo parade. The announcer for this year's rodeo is Don Jesser, who was the master of ceremonies last year as well. He told Channel 6 that the quality of the rodeo has improved a lot over the past few years and should be even better this week.
Talk about the better quality of cowboys as well as the better quality of livestock, and with the Lewis Fields Diamond G Rodeo Company coming here, they've worked really hard over the last couple of years improving the stock quality. And you're going to see the #1 bull of the Dodge National Circuit Finals Rodeo here, voted on by the cowboys from all across the United States. When you get that quality of livestock and the amount of livestock that they have here, and we're talking about depth of livestock from the bucking horses on down to the bulls in the timed event area, that's what draws the best cowboys in the country. And that's what you're going to have here, as well as the added money that you've increased here in Moab, Utah. It creates an atmosphere that the cowboys like to come compete in.
The cowboys and cowgirls will be among the best on the professional circuit.
And they'll travel probably 80 to 100,000 miles a year packing a horse up and down the highway or in an airplane getting from rodeo to rodeo if they're in rough stock events. And you know, it's a 365-day-a-year job, and they're athletes, and they do it the best way they know how, and it's a full-time job for about 70% of it.
Before the rodeo begins, you might want to wander down to Old Moab, where there will be some top-flight local entertainment.
The activities will start today here downtown, and what we're going to have is some food booths and I think some beverages and things like that, as well as a dance floor for entertainment and different cloggers, that sort of thing. Let me see what else is going on here. There will be local talent of all kinds, you know, bands, whatever we have in town that wants to come down and help entertain the public here on this corner.
Then on Saturday, it's the annual parade with displays, floats, and a good time for everyone.
The parade will start at 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Now, we'll be lining up between 9 and 10 at the city park. The horse entries will all be meeting over in front of the Helen M. Knight School, and the floats and cars will be lining up around the park. And then we'll be following the traditional parade route to Miller's. And we'll be leaving the city park at 10 o'clock sharp.
And you're also having a breakfast early that morning. Maybe you can explain
Saturday
what that...
morning, there's going to be a breakfast here at the Old Town, and that's going to start at 8 o'clock.
It was an opportunity to beat the pro and win a prize. The Moab Golf Course was the focus for the KTVX weekly sports segment, broadcast Sunday evening. On Saturday, local golfers were given a chance to try to get close to the pin on the par 3, 135-yard number 4. The golfers shot from the elevated tee toward the elevated green. Some of the shots were impressive. Others, well, it was a good effort. And Marianne Murray stepped up to hit.
Good, looking good. All right.
That shot was good enough to give her the lead.
Marianne, were you nervous when you were on camera?
Yes, I was.
Didn't show. Didn't show. Hit a good shot.
Well, thank you very much.
What'd you use?
I used a 7-iron.
Do you play this course a lot?
Yes, 3 or 4 times a week.
Really?
Yes.
Wind didn't bother you?
Yes, it did.
I think you're the closest one of the day.
Well, it's wonderful. I think it's great. I hope it holds up.
Congratulations,
Well,
Marianne.
thank you very, very much.
But while Murray's shot held up most of the day, in the end, it was another local resident, Roger Crane, who put his ball just a few feet from the hole.
Oh, man, we have our closest to the pin.
Great shot. What'd you use there?
9-iron.
9-iron?
Yeah.
Is that what you usually use? With the wind, did you go up on your
Wedge. Usually a wedge.
Crane won a gift certificate at the pro shop as well as golf equipment. But in the end, everyone was a winner and all the proceeds went to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. Up next is the Canyon Country weather forecast when Channel 6 News continues.
Make Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration your first step to cool this summer with one of their new swamp coolers. Nelson's also offers parts, service, and installation. And if it's appliances you're after, Nelson's proudly presents Whirlpool and Maytag brands for low energy use, fewer repairs, and great warranties. Nelson's Heating and Refrigeration, serving Moab for 30 years, 1070 Bowling Alley Lane.
Breaking ground? Call Utah Gas Service Company before you dig. When you dig anything from a post hole to a major excavation, you run the risk of breaking up a gas line. Play it safe. Gas lines can be buried almost anywhere. We're glad to locate our lines for you free of charge. Call Utah Gas Service Company.
Clouds and overcast skies stayed in the valley through Monday, keeping temperatures down to near 70 degrees. And look for slightly warmer but still cloudy skies over the next few days. Forecast for Moab and Canyon Country calls for partly cloudy skies through Tuesday and Wednesday. Look for afternoon highs around 75, overnight lows near 50. Partly cloudy skies are expected to continue through Thursday and Friday with highs up to around 80 degrees. And that's news of Moab and Canyon Country. I'm Dee Tranter reporting. Have a good day.